Here we are, 5,000 miles. She's doing just fine. Oh, for those of you who want to see with the lift, people are talking about the offset inside the wheel well. Yes, the tire is slightly forward, but I've really barely noticed it. It's only when the people online that don't actually have one pointed out that I have to go outside and stand at this angle and really stare at it to notice it. But this is with the 2-inch lift kit, with the 245/65 R17 wheel, or I'm sorry, tires. And yes, it's offset, but I don't really notice it that much. So I've been using my little compact truck like a truck. It's been doing great. Pardon the dear blood, I apologize. But 5,000 miles in, here we are. And for all the toilet paper haters, it's still there. How you like them apples? Hey guys, Joe Smith here. So here we are back in the Maverick. I now have over 5,000 miles, just short of 5,100 miles. And I hate to say it, but after 5,000 miles of having this truck, it's... Just kidding, it's still awesome. I love it. I can't get enough of this thing. It's great. I am so happy with this truck. No buyer's remorse. I have been to the deer lease I don't know how many times in this thing. I'm sure I could get out a calendar and count it up, but I'm not gonna. But we've been through, so I've already done an oil change. I've been through my first oil change at 3,000. Only thing worth of note there is you have to take the front skid plate off, which, whatever, that's no big deal. Just a couple extra nuts, or I'm sorry, a couple extra bolts. That was easy enough. Past that, I have gone hunting every weekend in this truck since I got it, and I received it. Well, it got to the dealership October 9th. I didn't get to pick it up till October 11th. So this truck, it's been great. I've loved it. So let's see, I got the tires put on it the first week I got it, and those are the 245/65 R17 BF Goodrich KO2s. And then 3 weeks to a month later, I got a 2-inch lift on it from FordRangerLifts.com, and then I'll put the link in the description below of where exactly, or what actual link that is. Shout out to Robbie Woolworth. So I haven't really had to message him, but I did have a question for him, and so I was able to email him. He got back to me very quickly. He is essentially Ford Ranger List personified, and super good dude. Very helpful. But yeah, no, this truck's been great. Like I said, I had a 2011 Ranger, Ford Ranger Sport 4x4 before this, and then for about a 6-month period I had a Chevy Silverado 1500, and then I drove for a little while before I got this. I just drove that in the meantime, because I knew I was waiting on this. And coming from a full-size truck to this, first of all, I don't haul much, I don't tow much, I don't need any, I never really need what a full-size truck has to offer. So coming from a full-size truck, I never felt like I fully utilized that truck. I never felt like I towed anything even close to what its actual capabilities were. But the what I used this for has done great. In one of my last videos, I had 650 pounds of corn in the back of the Maverick. Maverick was great. And then since then, I've had another time where I had 1,000 pounds of corn in the bed of this thing. It handled fine. Yes, the rear end squatted a little bit, but I feel like any truck probably would if you dropped 1,000 pounds in its bed. But it wasn't really noticeable until I was trying to slow down from highway speeds. And out where I hunt in West Texas, you're turning off of single lane country highways, so you're going from about 70, 75 to maybe 10 to 15 miles an hour to make a hard left turn off of the highway. But even then, just brake a little earlier and you're fine. So it all just comes down to be cognizant of what you're pulling and what you have in the truck bed and how you're pulling it, and you won't have any issues. Truck's great. And yeah, I'm going to keep saying truck for all those people that don't like that I call it a truck, and they're like, oh, it's just a car with a truck bed. Okay, if it's a car with a truck bed, then this car with a truck bed does everything I need it to. It gets my deer off the property and allows me to, clean them, get them processed, and everything I need to do. It gets my corn from the county road to my deer feeders and everything else in between. If somebody gets stuck, maybe I can help pull them out. Now, like I said, all the off-roading that I do in this is nothing crazy. I don't have anything treacherous that I'm going through. You guys, I made a video with the most treacherous parts that I go through on a regular basis out at my deer lease. And that video is on this channel. So, to all those people that I constantly offend by saying this is a truck, guess what? I'm going to keep saying it, because to me it's a truck. So, it's a compact truck, but it's still a truck. Yes, it's a unibody, but I'll tell you what. Every truck I've ever had, including that Ford Ranger Sport, driving it off-road just down my 2-track, just going to the deer feeders or my deer stand, it's a rough ride. It is. And I have never cared about smoothness off-road, nor will I ever, but maybe the fact that this is a car with a truck bed makes it a heck of a lot nicer to drive off-road, because all those little bumps and tiny potholes when you're driving on an uneven surface are lessened. Maybe that's because of this independent suspension, I'm not sure, but this thing handles great. And for the little bit of undulation that I have to go over and the little bit of standing water and the muddiness that I have to get through, this does it without issue. I don't need lockers. I don't need any of that other fancy stuff. Like I said, if I can get a deer that I unalived off the property and get it dealt with properly, and my vehicle allows me to do that efficiently, and I'm not having to borrow somebody else's vehicle to deal with my shortcomings, then I'm good. And this truck does all that. So everything's still good. Obviously, I still have, well, actually, we're on to our new roll of toilet paper now up in front of the display. So it's not the same roll that I've had this entire time. Don't worry, it gets its use. And to all the people that hate that toilet paper is there, it's not going anywhere. Just accept it. Comment on it. Do whatever you want. Say whatever mean things you want to me in the comments. It's toilet paper, and I'm going to use it, and it's going to be right there. So, if you want to type on your little keyboard and tell me how sad you are that I have toilet paper in plain view in my truck, you go right ahead. You pour your little heart out about that toilet paper, because this toilet paper means more to me than your virtual words. You want to know why? This is useful to me. Your negative comments aren't, so I don't care. But on that note, all the people that have come in asking questions on these comments, you guys are the only reason that I'm doing these videos. I just am lucky enough to have a Maverick, and I feel like I owe it to the rest of you that have genuine questions about these things. Like, I want to answer them. So if there's something that I haven't covered in any of my videos, please feel free to ask me, comment on it, or message me directly. I have no issue looking into something that, now that I have a truck here, if you're waiting on yours and you want to know, if you need a measurement on something, if you're curious about how a particular suspension looks on an all-wheel drive, I don't know, but anything that I can help with, just, I'd love to help out. So I appreciate it, guys. This will probably be my last video for a little bit, because I don't really know what else to make a video on the Maverick, because I feel like I've kind of expended everything. But yeah, 5,000 miles. It's doing pretty good so far, so I appreciate it. Thanks, guys.